हरे कृष्ण। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। This chapter is very important to understand. Very important concept. Try to understand this. What Brahmaji is trying to explain, because this chapter ends where Brahmaji is describing various incarnations, starting, and in the end, what Brahmaji says is that Krishna comes with his own free will, but according with certain rules and regulations, and in due time, because his devotees observe them day after day. Now Brahma, he says that because it is not enough to see the incarnation of Lord. You can see the incarnation of Lord, but we don't understand anything. That is the point of this chapter. We can see the incarnations, but cannot understand. Now we can say, we can look like him at a big object, but it is even with a great degree of meaninglessness. Now say, for example, an ant is seeing a human being. Now how much an ant can understand the human being? It is not possible for the ant to understand the human being. The ant is having eyes, it is seeing at us, but he will not be able to understand. Even to some extent, to understand such person is difficult. Similarly, although people, they claim that they need to see God, even if we see God, we touch him or anything we do, but we will not be able to understand him. That is, will why? Even this is actually Brahma is saying, not us. And because seeing God with our counterparts, that means our gross material feelings, our eyes, our conditioned nature, this is not the way to see Lord only. Because what people do, they always want some miracles to happen. They say if they see miracles, then they believe in God. They want some confirmation, some miracles. But the fact is, the miracle is not a method for knowing God. They say if I see some miracle, then I believe that this person is God. Now, as a rule, religion is a refuge for various kinds of all these charlatans, all these cheaters, because people want miracles and they think that miracle is a proof of existence of God. Now, Jesus Christ said, oh, you want to believe until I show you miracles? Then I will show you miracles. So people, not only in that part of the world, even India also, they are very keen for miracles. People like miracles and they think that this will help them to understand God. But Brahmaji is telling, no. This is not the way we can understand God. At some time, actually, we cannot pay any attention to all these miracles. The fundamental, the method, of course, Brahma says it is not possible. We cannot know God to the end. The reason is because he is unlimited. That is the first thing. He says the Lord is Ananta, is infinite. Not only Lord, his energy is infinite. So this is another important thing to know. Say if you take a small particle, a tiny particle of energy, and start digging it, we will never get into bottom. Like no, in this physics and nuclear chemistry, they're trying to split the atom. And what they are trying to do, that at the dawn of Western civilization, it seems that atom is something which they have got to the bottom of. And they thought we all took hold of it and everything now became very clear. This is atom, by definition, it is invisible. The Greek philosopher said that there is indivisible particle we got. Now they found that it turned that there are electrons, protons, and neutrons also in the atom. And not only that, there are, then they said, oh, not only electrons, and in electrons there are also quarks, and then there is something called neons and mesons. And then further we try to get bottom of this, the more inexhaustible, infinite it all becomes. Now, if we take the smallest particle of the creation, this part, maybe this piece of wood or whatever, is it possible to fully understand? No, it is impossible to fully understand. It is exhausting to the end and understanding, because God is inexhaustible. Now, what is the formula that is given? This is Sakriyavada. This is one of the logics in the Shastra. What is that? If the source is inexhaustible, if the cause is, and what is the logic is, the cause is manifested in the effect. If something is cause, that is manifested in the effect, and the effect is always in the cause. That means, since the cause of all things is inexhaustible, is Krishna, so everything that we see in principle, by definition, is also inexhaustible. Everything that we see, and there is always a consequence in the cause. Since the cause of all things is inexhaustible, everything is inexhaustible. Now, there is there are worms in our intestine which helps in digestion and all. They are called germinata or herminatas or germinatas. There are some worms. One famous scientist was there. He was trying to study it, and at the end of, he studied for many years, and he was asked, so are you tired studying these worms? Oh, so many years you are doing. He said that the worm is so big, life is so short. No matter how much I study, even one worm, life is not enough to fully understand this worm. What can then, if we cannot study one worm fully, what to speak of the Supreme Lord? How much we can understand what we understand? It is such a foolishness to think that we understand the Supreme Lord. Not possible only. What is one worm only we cannot do, is just the tiniest worm which is in our stomach cannot be studied with all the intelligence. If you apply all our intelligence, all our powers that were given by God, try to, and then in our madness, if you think we understand something, that is only foolishness. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he talks to Sanatana Goswami, begins the topic that he says, even Brahma cannot understand God. Treyam Satim Bhakti Mudasyate Vibho Klishyanti Ye Bodhala Kevalabde Desha Masho Kleshal Eva Shishit Nanyatastula Tushavagata. Not possible to understand. Brahma says, if somebody says they understood, I don't know, but for myself, I never understood. He is the creator of this universe. Now, this is a sad fact, which indicates that he knows something, that, and this fact of God's inconceivability is fully affirmed by all the great authorities. Lord is inconceivable. Now, the Upanishad says that I do not know a little, or at least we don't understand anything. Upanishad says there is Socrates was oracle. He claims that Socrates is the most intelligent person. His surrender is an alternative for understand Lord. Brahma is also surrendered. Narada is also surrendered. Even we are surrendered. Whatever Lord reveals, that much only we can understand. We can understand Lord. Something, whatever is needed for our heart to melt and develop love for Krishna, that much he will reveal. Beyond that, our brain does not have that much capacity to understand all. Brahmanarda, they are surrendered souls. They are telling we cannot understand. That means something is revealed to us according to our capacity, whatever is needed for us to develop love. That much. Socrates, he was told by oracle that he is the most intelligent person. And when this news reached Socrates, he was very surprised. He said, how come? I am the most intelligent. Then he went to all the other scholars in the city to find out how come he made this statement. And then everybody was telling, no, no, you are most intelligent. We know something, but you know so much. And everybody said that you are the most intelligent. Then after whole research, he understood, yes, why I am the most intelligent? Because I understand that I don't know. Others don't know that. That's why I'm intelligent. I'm intelligent because I understood I do not know. Or knows a little, at least I understood it. But I don't know anything that I understood. That's why I'm intelligent. Others do not know that they don't know anything. That's why they're fools. This is the Socrates research work. Because the oracle actually, uh, Delphic oracle, he says that Socrates is the smartest person in the Greece. He makes that statement. And then he says oracle. Now the essence of this is that the starting point of knowledge, the first step of knowledge, the point from which we can say that at least understood something, is when we honestly admit that I don't know anything. As long as I am proudly declare that I know something, that I understand something, this means I am completely in ignorance. A complete absolute, according to Brahmaji, is an idiot. But if I admit that I have enough internal humility and honesty to admit that in general, well, I am not an I'm not even an ant compared to human. Worse than that. I know absolutely nothing. This is the starting point from which the process of knowledge can begin. If everything we and if everything is so sad, if everything ends on this, then there would be no sense either what we are doing or what something else is doing. If we simply state that God is incomprehensible, then what is the point of reading Bhagavatam? Right? Why are you wasting our time in reading Bhagavatam? Why we have to chant some mantras, especially waking up early in the morning? But Brahma, despite of the fact that he speaks this verse, he says, I really don't understand. And he says that we can still comprehend the secret of his inconceivable is revealed here, that when we surrender to Lord, then there is a path to comprehend. That is the path. Surrender is the path to comprehend. That also, to the degree he says, and to the degree Lord, not only us, even animals can also understand. What to speak of Striyo Vaishya Tata Shudra Tepihanti Char. Even animals. What is the way to understand? I will reveal more at the end of our purport discussions. We'll complete some of our purports first. Then I will add to it, because we have to go with our syllabus. We have discussed about few incarnations. We'll just remember the list of incarnations. First starts with Varahadev in the first shloka. Varahadev is indication of Yajna, and second is Suyajna is Indra. He actually what is the job he's doing? Suyajna. because so diminish the miseries of universe. He diminished the miseries of universe. Then there is Kapiladev. Then we have Dattatreya. And then the fifth incarnation is Sanat Kumar. And the sixth one is Dharma. Okay, sorry, Naranarayan. And then we have Naranarayan Rishi, only 2 shlokas are. And then we have eighth one. He is the Lord who appears. His name is, what is the name? Krishna. Yeah, who appears to Dhruva is Prishnigarba. And ninth is King Prithu. And 10th is Rishabhadev. So first 6 all are Brahmanas. And we have Naranarayan Rishi. And of course, Prishnigarba, they're all Brahmana category. And then there is Prithu Maharaj, Kshatriya category, Rishabdev Kshatriya. Of course, Supreme Lord is not Brahmana Kshatriya. Just for remembrance, I am giving some logic. And then we have Hayagriva. Now is an animal form. And then we'll see the next one. Now the animals come. Kshatriyas and Brahmanas are over. First is Hayagriva form. Hayagriva is a horse. And we'll see. It is the 12th verse. Matso yuganta samaye manunopalabdha shoni mayo nikhilay jiva nikaya keta vishramishhtanu urubhaye shalile mukhan me adya tatra vijahara hivedama Argan. This is at the end of millennium, Satyavrata, the future Vaivasvata Manu, would see the Lord in the fish incarnation in the shelter of all kinds of living entities, up to those in the earthly planets. Because of my Brahma's fear of vast water at the end of millennium, the Vedas come out of my mouth, and the Lord enjoys these vast waters and protects the Vedas. So this is about Matsya Avatara. Actually, Matsya Avatara comes at every kalpa in Varadeva. During one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus, and at the end of each Manu, there is a devastation up to the earthly planets, and the vast water is fearful even to Brahma. So, in the previous life of Vaivasvata Manu, such devastation would be seen by him. There would be many other indications also, such as the killing of famous Shankasura. This foretelling is by the past experience of Brahmaji, who knows that in the future, when the fearful devastation seen the Vedas would come out of his mouth, but that the Lord in his fish incarnations would save not only the Vedas, but also all living entities, namely the demigods, animals, men, and great sages. This happens regularly. Devastation happens. Matsya comes and he gives. And Lord only has to give. Lord want to enjoy. So he will create such a situation. He comes, enjoys, and goes back. We cannot say anything. This is will. It is called Leela for him. What we can do, participate in the Leela, appreciate and enjoy. If you take up, you are upset with Lord's pastimes, that is our problem. For Lord, he is very happy. So we can also enjoy the Lord's, we can be part of Lord's plan, and we can also happily appreciate and enjoy that. That's the formula we should apply for ourselves. We should not get offended by why Lord has to do such things. Yeah, it's his creation. And of course, one thing which we are discussing, we cannot understand. Kshiro dadava mara dhanava yutapanam unmattanatmamrita labhya adidevaha. पृष्ठेन गच्छ वपुविधा धारगोत्रं निर्द्राक्षणो द्रिपर्यवत्र क्षणानकण्डु. This is the premier lord then assumed the tortoise incarnation in order to serve as a resting place, pivot for the Mandara mountain, which was acting as a churning rod. The demigods, the demons, were churning the ocean of milk with the Mandara mountain in order to extract nectar. The mountain moved back and forth, scratching the back of Lord Tortoise, who, while partially sleeping, was experiencing an itching sensation. So now the third incarnation, this is also form of animal. Now, this is the interesting thing. What is this itching sensation? We'll see. Prabhupada wrote in the purport. Bhaktisiddhanta gives a comment of this itching sensation. After reading purport, I'll give my comments on it. We'll see. Prabhupada writes some things and we'll add to it. I have what I have read from other things I'll explain. Prabhupada is saying, although it is not in our experience, there is a milk ocean within this universe. Even the modern scientists accept that there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of planets hovering over our heads, and each of them has different kinds of climatic conditions. Srimad Bhagavatam gives much information which may not tally with our present experience. But as far as Indian sages are concerned, knowledge is received from Vedic literatures, and the authorities accept without any hesitation that we should look through the pages of authentic books of knowledge, Shastra. So we cannot deny the existence of ocean of milk as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam unless and until we have experimentally seen all the planets hovering in the space. Since such an experience is not possible, naturally we have to accept the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam as it is because it is so accepted by the spiritual leaders like Sridhar Swami, Jiva Goswami, Vishwanath Chakra Thakur and others. The Vedic process is to follow in the footsteps of great authorities, and that is the only process for knowing that which is beyond our imagination. The Prabhupada is giving such a nice point. That is really true, that for us to accept ocean of milk, right? How many cows Krishna asks Mother Yashoda when he says this Samudra Manthan pastimes. There is an ocean of milk. All the demigods and demons went to churn the ocean of milk. Krishna asks, oh, ocean of milk. How many cows are needed to get that much milk, ocean of milk? And it will not get spoiled. If you just keep milk like that for 2 days, it is finished. It will become into curd or it may get spoiled. But ocean of milk does not get spoiled. And especially Hyderabad people will be happy with ocean of liquor. They'll say, let us have our residence beside that. Here people doing so much very bad. Now, the point is what? That these things should be accepted on the authority of Shastra and Acharyas. That means it exists, that's all. No need of any counter question. I say, it's sentimental. It is not sentimental. It is intelligence only. Because so many things scientists also say, we also accept it. They say 1 billion stars are there. Why you are accepting? Did you count? Then they are telling so many measurements about this, about that, so many things they tell. You don't verify only whatever scientists say. Whatever is there in the book, we read and write exam and get marks. How many things we verified? Really did we do that experiment? Really did we go and study? No, we don't do many of the things, but we accept it. They told about electron, protons, neutrons. How many of us saw electrons, protons, neutrons? Nobody. But do we believe? Yes, we believe. They say quantum mechanics. How much we saw? How many of us saw quantum? We didn't see. We believe. That's all. Then, if you are believing blindly, scientists, why should I not believe the acharyas who are very pure in character? They will not cheat also. The scientists, there is always a tendency to cheat, and many are caught cheating. But acharyas, they are very pure. They have very pure heart. They are anagas, having such a good sadhana. Why they will cheat? They're so kind and compassionate to living entities. The scientists are not having any kind, and there may be some scientists who are kind and compassionate, but not like acharyas, right? That is the point. And another thing that is said, the premier Lord, being all powerful, can do whatever he likes, and therefore he assumes the incarnation of tortoise or a fish for serving a particular purpose is not at all astonishing. Therefore, he should not have any hesitation. Sorry, we should not have any hesitation whatsoever in accepting the statements of authentic scriptures. Now, this is another important. When Lord is assuming, he want to enjoy that rasa. That's why all these, why we have 84 lakh species, because Lord also enjoys in different varieties. That's why we also imitate his desire. That's why we get all these species. That's all. Lord want to enjoy as a fish. Lord want to enjoy as a tortoise. Lord want to enjoy as hygriva. Lord and other animals are going to come different forms. And Lord also want to enjoy human form. He want to enjoy demigod form. He want to enjoy so many other forms which Lord want to enjoy. And whatever form Lord takes, he takes maximum pleasure. And here Lord takes the form of a poor man. And he gets itching. What is this itching? Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says this itching, why Lord gets itching? It's something not very comfortable. No? You are getting itching and you are scratching. So this is what? This is because of this Mayavadis who says Lord does not have form. When they speak like this, Lord gets some itching. And if Lord gets itching, then what? Then whole creation should assist him to get rid of it. Everybody in the universe, they're all coming together. All the big great demigods and big asuras, they're all coming. They're making such a grandeur arrangement. You have to have Mandara mountain. Prabhupada is writing the gigantic work of churning the milk ocean by the combined effort of the demons and demigods, and the demons require a gigantic resting ground or pivot for the gigantic Mandara hill. Thus, to help the attempt of the demigods, the premier Lord assumed the incarnation of gigantic tortoise sleeping in the ocean of milk. At the same time, Mountain scratched his back as he was partially sleeping and thus relieved his itching sensation. So these people are speaking all this nonsense. So you scratch my back. It is a little bit itching because of their statements. So in this way, Lord is enjoying. Even you want to scratch the body of the Lord, such a big arrangement should be made. And then he feels little relieved. Like if somebody goes to this massage parlors and all, they feel little bit sense that they try to sleep, half sleep, and then they want this massage. Where did they get this idea from? This is original idea in the milk ocean. Vara, they started this. And people are imitating here with some scented oil, this, that. Of course, that scented oil massage is done to Krishna also. And other forms in the Vaikuntha also, Lord gets this massage and all. But it all comes from Lord only, right? त्रिपृष्ठपूरुभयहासनिशिंहरूपम् कृत्वा भ्रमदभुक्कुटि द्रंष्ट्रकरावलवक्त्रम् दैतेन्द्रियमासु गदयाभिपत्तन्तम् आरात् ऊरू निपात्य उदधारणखैः स्फुरन्तम्. Now, Narsingadev. The personality of God assumed the incarnation of Narsingadev in order to vanquish the great fears of the demigods. He killed the kings of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, who challenged the Lord with the club in his hand. By placing the demon on his thighs and piercing him with his nails, rolling his eyebrows in anger and showing his fearful teeth and mouth. So then Prabhupada is explaining about Hiranyakashipu. You might have heard many times. So we'll not go with Hiranyakashipu. अनन्तशैर्षौरुबलेन गदे गृहीतो गाहेन यूतपतैरबुजहस्त आर्थ Ahedamadi Kila Lokhanata Tirtha Savana Mangalanamadeya. Now comes the next incarnation of liberating Gajendra, the leader of the elephants, whose leg was attacked in a river by a crocodile of superior strength, was much aggrieved. Taking a lotus flower in his trunk, he addressed the Lord, saying, O original Lord, Lord of the universe, O deliverer, as famous as place of pilgrimage, all are purified simply by hearing your holy name, which is worthy to be chanted. Very famous prayers of Gajendra Moksha. Madhri Prapanna Pashupasha Vimokshanaya Muktāya Bhūri Karunāya Namolalaya Swamshena Sarvatana Brihmanasi Pratita Pratyek Krishe Bhagavate Brihate Namaste. So all these very famous prayers of Gajendra. And then Prabhupada writes about the story of Gajendra Moksha, which we will not, you all know the story, and Prabhupada is briefly explaining that. But some nice points Prabhupada makes. Every living entity is always distressed in this material world because this place is such that every step one has to meet with some kind of distress. This is very, very common. Yesterday only I heard one devotee coming from airport met with an accident and now he's in hospital. It's getting operated. But one who is supported by his past good deeds, engage himself in devotional service of the Lord, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Those who are supported by the impious acts cannot be engaged in devotional service of the Lord, even though they are distressed. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, now another important one. The elephant was conscious of his relation with the Supreme Lord. He addressed the Lord as Adi Purusha, or the original enjoyer. But the Lord and the living beings are conscious and are therefore enjoyers. But the Lord is the original enjoyer because he is the creator of everything. Prabhupada is giving an example. In a family, both father and his sons are undoubtedly enjoyers, but the father is the original enjoyer and the sons are subsequent enjoyers. A pure devotee knows well that everything in the universe is the property of the Lord, and thus a living entity can enjoy a thing as ordained by the Lord. Ishavasham idam sarva. Jagatyam jagat. Tena tektvena bunjita. Whatever is given, that much only. A living entity cannot even touch a thing which is not allowed to him. This idea of the original enjoyer is explained very nicely in the Ishopanishad. And then another important point, the elephant addressed Lord as Akhila Lokhanatha, as the Lord of the universe, who is therefore the Lord of elephant also. For us also, Akhila Lokhanatha only. Whatever is happening, not that Lord is not in control. What is the problem for conditioned living entities? They don't understand that whatever is happening is under the supervision and control of Lord only. It may look that somebody else is controlling, somebody else is manipulating, somebody else is doing all the things. No, 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 no. Brahmaji is telling same thing. No, it's all happens by the desire of Lord. He is the boss. He is the controller. Nobody else. The elephant, being a pure devotee of Lord, specifically deserved to be saved from the attack of the crocodile. And because it is a promise of the Lord that his devotees will never be vanquished, it was quite befitting that the elephant called upon the Lord to protect him. And the merciful Lord also at once responded. The Lord is protector of everything, everyone, but he is first protector of one who acknowledge the superiority of the Lord instead of being so falsely proud as to deny the superiority of Lord or to claim to be equal to him. He is ever superior. A pure devotee of Lord knows this difference between the Lord and himself. Therefore, a pure devotee is given first preference because of his full dependence, whereas the person who denies the existence of God and declares himself the Lord is called Asura. And as such, he is given protection by the strength of limited power subjected to the sanctions of the Lord. Since the Lord is superior to everyone, his protection is also superior. No one can just imagine it. What happens is, I have seen this personally. One person, he was claiming that he is God, and many people used to come and respect him and all, but not his family members. It is so frustrating to him because family members see him day in and day out. They find so many faults in him. He feels that people come and respect me, but my family members are not accepting me as something great. This is what is matter nature. Nobody is allowed to enjoy it without, if you are doing it wrongly. Now it is so frustrating to him because you want to prove, and there should be some acceptance. This is the problem with Arjuna also. I mean, he says, "Oh Krishna, even if I win, whom can I show that I became victorious? Where will be people who will say Arjuna ki jai? Nobody is there to say Arjuna ki jai. Everybody is dead only. They want approval from their family, and this is actually what everybody is aspiring for. But here we see that, and this is nice frustration for people. And if we are observer, then we can be amused. Of course, we should not be envious. I was because he was connected to me, I was a little envious. This fellow unnecessarily is claiming himself to God. Now I'm okay. Previously, I was very envious. Envious, and I was very angry. That anger is because of envy only. Why this fellow is behaving like this? He is claiming himself to be God. Then I felt okay, that is ignorance. He is anyway suffering his own problem. And Prabhupada is giving a few words in it. Two words, we'll just go to this. One is Akhilalontanatha. He is the master for all of us also. And Tirtha Shravaha, the famous place of pilgrimage. People go to place of pilgrimage in order to deliver from the reactions of unknown sinful acts. But one who can be free from all sinful reactions simply by remembering his holy name, the Lord is therefore as good as the holy place of pilgrimage. One can be free from all sinful reactions after reaching a place of pilgrimage, but one can have the same benefit at home, at any place, simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. For a pure devotee, there is no need to go to holy place of pilgrimage. He can be delivered from all sinful acts simply by remembering the Lord in earnestness. A pure devotee of Lord never commits any sinful acts, but because the whole world is full of sinful atmosphere, even a pure devotee may commit a sin unconsciously as a matter of course. One who commits sinful acts consciously cannot be worthy of being a devotee of Lord. But a pure devotee who unconsciously does something sinful is certainly delivered by the Lord, because a pure devotee remembers the Lord always. The holy name is called Shravana Mangala. Sorry, Lord's name is called Shravana Mangala. So here the point of Tirtha Sava is Lord actually purifies the devotees. He can deliver the devotees. But whom? One who commits sinful activity consciously cannot be worthy of being a devotee. Should unconsciously have done something, and then Lord will purify him. So he still remains Tirtha, a purified place. Lord purifies. We just go to the Lord. Going to Lord is chanting the holy. The Lord's holy name is called Shravana Mangala. This means that one receives everything auspicious simply by hearing the holy name. In another place in Srimad Bhagavatam, his holy name is described as Punya Shravana Kirtana. It is a pious act simply by simply to chant and hear all about Lord. The Lord descends to this earth and acts like others in connection with the activities of the world, just to create subject matters for hearing about him. Otherwise, the Lord has nothing to do with this world, nor has he any obligation to do anything. He comes out of his own causeless mercy and acts as he desires, and the Vedas and Puranas are full of description of his different activities, so that people in general may naturally be eager to hear and read something about his activities. Now, Prabhupada writes, generally, however, the modern fictions and novels of the world occupy a great part of people's valuable time. Such literature cannot do good to anyone. No. Tad Vayasam Tirtha. Nayatra Hamsa Nirvantu Siksha. These are Vayasam Tirtha. They have place of pilgrimage for crows. On the contrary, they agitate the young minds, unnecessarily increase the mode of passion ignorance, leading to increasing bondage to the material condition. The same aptitude of for hearing and reading is better utilized in hearing, reading the Lord's activities. This will give an all-round benefit. It is concluded, therefore, that the holy name of Lord and the topics in relation with Him are always worthy hearing, and therefore here is the verse called Namadhe, or one whose holy name is worth chanting. Oh, this shloka is very important shloka. Now I will just summarize what we have discussed, because I told about how Lord is inconceivable. We cannot be understood. Why? According to the logic. What is that logic called? This is Satkriyavada. According to Satkriyavada, something unlimited, the cause is manifested in it. So Lord is the cause and effect is this matter nature. Lord is unlimited. That's why matter nature is also unlimited. So when we try to understand Lord, it is not possible. And now what is the way to understand? Why we have to spend so much time in understanding this? There is a way to comprehend the God with the help of which God can understand, and with which a person can completely not only his existence, to know he feels his presence, he can communicate with God. This is a method that is described. There are many other ways of knowing. You can try to comprehend the world the way people are trying to comprehend it. You are crushing it, breaking it to pieces and pieces and trying to see and analyzing and using a microscope, telescopes. And this is actually because if eyes are blind, no matter how many telescopes or how many microscope we take, we cannot see anything, because we will watch with our limited eyes only. The senses are already limited. With limited eyes, how can we know the unlimited? We will watch as if we watch for a long time. We understand something. Or if we break something, and with the help of the reactions and all this protons, neutrons, but it is impossible to comprehend matter. Even we are talking about comprehending to the end. It is impossible. Now, there is a great philosopher, Emmanuel Kant. He says that there are two aspects: anthological and morphological. The morphology is a form or having an object reveals itself outside, means what it reveals outside. And there is an ontology of being, an existential aspect. So he says he can comprehend the what is external aspect, external form. We can manifest ourselves. So I am manifesting myself something that can be understood. That aspect is, but the ontological, which is inside, is incomprehensible. What I am inside, it cannot be understood so easily. Now, so similarly for Lord also, I think I will continue this tomorrow. There are some more description. When Krishna says this, how to understand. So we are understanding the external manifestation of Lord, but the internal thing cannot be understood. That Lord should reveal. Say what I am thinking now, unless I tell, you will not be able to understand. Externally, I can show I am very happy, I am very enthusiastic, I am this, but internally I may be crying. So anyway, I will expand this tomorrow. So what we have discussed is how, even if we see the incarnations, we don't understand. Another important point is people want miracles, and that is not the way to understand Lord. Okay, thank you all very much. We'll meet tomorrow. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.